Do you have a dress code at work?
We don't, actually. It's just a common knowledge of what business casual is kind of like.
Safety clothes, safety boots, anything that keeps us safe.
But what about tattoos or piercings? They're not uncommon these days. It's estimated 1 in 5 adults have them. But not all workplaces want tattoos to be visible. The Ottawa Hospital recently tried to enforce a unique dress code on its staff.
Covering up tattoos, removing body piercing.
The lawyer for the hospital's CUPE member says there was no need for a new policy, no health or safety issues were raised, it all came down to corporate image.
There was a suggestion that patients having to look at a worker with a tattoo or, perhaps some body piercing would have a negative patient outcome.
The attempt was struck down by a labor arbitrator.
And there needs to be some legitimate need for a new policy of this nature that, of course, infringes upon people's individual liberties and personal expression.
They usually come up in places where companies are concerned about their image.
This labor expert says employers have the right to put dress code policies in place.
Tattoos, appearance, jewelry, things of that nature would not be discriminatory unless you can tie it to a legitimate religious belief or some other basis.
For Gurmuk, saying it wasn't his clothes but his beard that became an issue at work.
His employer said, "You're in contravention of our dress code policy." And the dress code calls for a neat and tidy appearance and personal hygiene.
The former limo driver for Airport Limousine Service explained his uncut beard was part of his Sikh faith. The case was to go to the Human Rights Tribunal of Ontario, but a last-minute settlement was reached.
Reinforces the idea that for aesthetic preferences, you cannot impose a dress code on workers that, request religious accommodation. But he's just glad that he was able to, stand up for his rights.
Jennifer Palisock, Global News.